Jen, is there another part to the question or are we good?
There was the second part. How do you edit the Mentors podcast?
That was a podcast that I ran.
Oh, gotcha.
So kudos for Googling me real quick. Um, so guys, similar to, I like to learn in and out everything that I'm working on. So if I'm building a product, and in this case, the product was a podcast, I want to be able to do everything really well first before I delegate it. Similar to sales, right? If I'm going to build software, I'm going to probably learn a little bit about coding, even if I'm not going to be a software engineer, which is what I did earlier on in my career. My brother and I edited, out of the 250 podcasts, at least 50%, if not more. We hired editors at some point, but remember, right now we do have better tools available, I will say, with AI and the like, but this was before AI. I mean, we started, I believe, in 2018, so it wasn't a million years ago, but AI is relatively new in terms of the options that we have for tools available. But more importantly, here's why I edited it. And by the way, I was just listening to a podcast with Jason Bateman, the guy from Arrested Development, and him and his buddies have a podcast called Smart List. They're out there editing movies that they're working on and shows that they're working on, right? The best people will want to get into the nitty gritty. And so I would say if you see yourself as, I just want to be creator, I don't want to edit the podcast, that's okay. You can hire an editor or a producer in the future, but at least the first 5 or 10 episodes, edit yourself, because not only will you pick up a new skill, but you should be very well aware of the voice that you want to communicate in the content that you're creating. And there's no way to delegate that. And by doing that, you'll also be able to specifically direct the editor or editors that you're going to be hiring, and also know whether or not you're talking to a producer or editor that's actually good and high quality. So I recommend doing your own. I probably did way more than I needed to, but that's just kind of, I didn't mind the editing process.
Tacking on to the new tools, like 2018, yeah, definitely. You're doing things just the old-fashioned way. Great to learn. Like back, I learned how to do 3D animation on Silicon graphics machines, and most people don't even know what those are, right? Linux, Unix, there's no such thing for 3D animation for Windows or anything like that. But I learned a lot of the basic fundamentals. But these days, with the tools, you have absolutely no excuse not to be able to pump out and test content. We use TimeBolt to edit this show, and it allows us to go a lot faster. And then on top of which, because I learned how to use it, and I've been using it for like almost a year now, then I was able to teach Q and then say, this is what we're looking for in the tools and pass along. So definitely support what Vadim is saying in terms of use the tools, learn how to do them before you start delegating out there, and then you have better control. And you learn, so much as well. Most founders don't have the time to, or don't have the capacity or the resource to go and hire people, which is great in terms of do it yourself. It's easier than ever